going on, guys? Church here, kicking off Beat Breakdown for 2021, and today I'll be breaking down the song called Backstage off of my new beat tape titled One West Coast Evening. Alright, so One West Coast Evening is the new project that I just put out in February this month, and I've actually had this project just sitting around since, I want to say, May of last year, and it was really an idea I had during quarantine, like during that whole time when a lot of people were kind of on lockdown. I was just working on a ton of music, and I was finishing like the Life Test EPs at the time, and I had that done, and I was like, I want to get into something else just with, this free time I have. So I ended up coming up with this idea, and it was kind of centered around like Los Angeles and kind of just the way that I experienced the city when I visited around 5 years ago now, and kind of I just drew from like personal experiences, and I was like, what if you made a project that was kind of just someone driving through LA at nighttime? Like they start out in like Hollywood, and then they end up going through like Skid Row and a bunch of like dark places of the city. Because like if you've never been to LA is technically many different cities that make up one giant like conglomerate of places, and like the inner city itself is massive, but there's also different regions outside. So really, like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to like take a loose concept and make just a little beat EP out of it, and add like skits and things like that. And I think the skits, I knew with Life Test that the skits kind of tied all the songs together, so I thought that it was cool to be able to do that with this one. So I kind of went and got like stuff from like the 70s and the 80s, and kind of just it was like a little ode to Los Angeles as a city, and kind of like what makes it special, but also what makes it kind of for some people not as special. And like the song Skid Row on here, it talks about a man, it's from a video of a homeless man who ended up moving to LA, kind of giving up all his possessions, and him and his wife ended up homeless and didn't have a job, and the people that they ended up going out there for kind of abandoned them and everything. And I thought it was very interesting that for some people it's like the city of dreams, and you go out there to meet other creative people and kind of build a life, but sometimes because of the overpopulation and the amount of homelessness in general out there, and the problems that the city has had that I've studied over the past few years, some people aren't as lucky as the people that make a success of themselves and everything, and it's kind of unfortunate. So I just wanted to make a project that kind of like showcased that in a very short amount of time. So I did 6 beats on this one. The other 3 EPs that were Life Test EPs, they were only 4. So this right here, Backstage, is the intro track, and it's basically that beginning where the person is starting out in like the glamorous parts of LA, and like the things you see on TV and everything. Like you see, when you think of LA, like as the common day person, you probably just think of movie sets, TV, actors, actresses, whatever you want to say. So I just kind of wanted a beat that was very like slow moving, kind of like you're watching like the sun going down and you're beginning this journey. So I took this, I'm not going to tell you what song it is, because it's kind of like something that, like, if you can figure out what song it is, feel free to try and decipher it. But I took this song, I don't even think I slowed it down, I just reversed it and kind of played it in a very cool but very like mysterious way. So this is what you have to start with. then it just repeats, I think, let's see, 4 or 5 more times. So like I have the first part is the intro, first part repeated, and then it just repeats that first and second part pretty much the whole time. I just thought that was very cool. I don't remember when I made this specific beat because I had a lot of these beats already made. I just kind of pulled together like the ideas that I felt would fit this type of theme. So like when I hear this, I think of like the person is ready to begin, like I said, that journey of just kind of making their way through LA. But there's only a few more sounds on this whole thing. So like once you hear that part, then you hear the drums within the first about 12 seconds of the song. So we got the hi-hats, which this hi-hat is, I think, just from the raw drum kit pack that I have. I use that for like more live sounding stuff. Very slow. This is a 74 BPM beat. So like I said, I was going for something very like mellow and laid back. Nothing that's that over the top. Next up is this kick right here. Kick from the exact same pack. It's actually the same name and everything. It's just the kick, the second kick in the pack, I believe so. And then the only other sound besides the skits, the only other like sound of the actual beat is this last snare right here. Which that snare kind of has a lot of like pop to it. I don't know if you can hear it like through the speakers, but it's still a very live sounding like snare. It's not really a trap snare. It's just more of a I think the way I reverbed it gave it a lot of like punch to go with that kick. Because I don't know, it must just be the slower BPMs. I really like to have live sounding drums with slow BPM, and when it goes probably above 120, I tend to go more towards the trap sounds. But I knew I just wanted something that felt very like human, natural, especially with the sample, because the sample is, if you hear the song, the guy's talking about, I think it was from like a documentary about Los Angeles, probably in like the 60s, and he was talking about, you know, going to Hollywood and seeing like the glitz and the glamour of what, you know, the magic behind how they make all the movies and everything. And so that's just kind of how I wanted to kick it off. So if you hear the whole beat together with all 4 of the parts, this is what you would hear. You know, pretty simple stuff. That's like 2.5 minutes. I think the longest beat on this one is probably like 3.5 minutes. So it's still like a very like short concept and short like tape that you could just throw on and listen to whenever you want. But I thought it came out very well, and like I enjoyed having that free time to be able to make this one. This is definitely my favorite project that's just a beat tape that I've done so far. I just love doing concepts with these things because it makes them more interesting, especially when there's no lyrics or anything. There's still like a story being told with these 6, you know, songs and everything. So yeah, that one's pretty basic. The majority of these are just like boom bap type beats, just my version, I guess, of what that would be. So yeah, One West Coast Evening is out now. That's Backstage right there. 5 other songs on that tape. And yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to doing more tapes very soon. I already have another one coming probably in the summertime. So until the next beat breakdown, I appreciate you guys as always. Stream that project if you want. I'll leave the link in the description of the video and everything. And until next time, appreciate you guys and have a good one.